the goal tonight for all of you, at least for myself, is that we come across in a way that we educate you on the products, if that's what you came for, or if you're interested in the compensation side of the business, that you get in a place where you feel like you left with a slight bit more knowledge than what you came with. It's a very easy business, but it's a very complex business. Easy meaning the basics are very easy. Complex meaning obviously anything you do, if you want to be great at it, there's going to be a lot of steps to it. So I am going to be sharing from a couple different perspectives tonight. One is if you're seeing this business opportunity from a customer, a potential customer, or potential ambassador. I know we have ambassadors on the line with us. We have potential customers on our webinar with us. We have customers on our line with us. So anyways, you're all welcome. And without further ado, I'm just going to kind of get rolling here. And this is just a little disclaimer you guys can all read. I'm going to pause it for a second. Just basically letting you know that this is put on by Plexus Ambassador. It's not sponsored by Plexus or anything like that. So there's your disclaimer. As we get started, one of the things that I like to get right out of the gate is, focusing on a little bit about my background and my wife's background and how we got here. And so you see these pictures in front of you. Of course, they're kind of more of a dream building type of picture. But let me just back up a step and just let you know that, about 4 years ago, I had a little boy. His name is Judah. A lot of you guys know Judah. A lot of you guys have been in his corner cheering him on here over the last 4 years and praying blessings over him and health over him. So we appreciate that. But Judah was born just like any other child. Like I mentioned, 7 kids. But after 5 weeks, he had a spontaneous bleed in his brain. The collateral damage of that left my wife with some severe anxiety, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, and obviously the rest of our family to some degree as well. And so we were not looking for anything when this opportunity came into our lap. We were just looking for a way for Christy to get healthy. We had tried all different types of things from, she was taking hundreds of dollars in different supplements. We were trying oils. We were trying, you name it. We tried chiropractors. Obviously, had prayer and all of that great stuff, but nothing just seemed to work. And so, right around December-ish, we got to a place where we said, hey, something's got to change. Our marriage was not at the optimal place where it should be. There's obviously, with her highs and lows and her mood swings and her anxiety and the depression that she was going through, there were some challenges. And so I said, we got to find something that's going to solve this situation. And by the way, she was going to be here tonight, but we did have a little bit of a child meltdown. So with our youngest little one, Malachi. But anyways, with that said, and so we were just looking, praying, seeking all the options of what we could do, and could not find anything. And one of our friends said, hey, I have this product called Slim. And Krista, she's very slender already. The last thing she needs to do is lose weight. But the friend said, what this does is it balances your sugar and get rid of your depression and anxiety and whatnot. And so we checked it out. And I said, as you'll see here as we go through, there was a 60-day money-back guarantee. So I said, hey, I like that. I can't lose. And so I said, the very, very worst case scenario, we'll get our money back after 60 days. So we tried the product out after 60 days. Within 30 days, we started seeing a dramatic change in her health. And that got me excited. I said, you know what, we're on to something here. And so when I saw her change in her health, that made me curious and interested. And as every man that might be on this webinar has a similar feeling, I said, what can we do to get these products potentially for free? And so we talked to the person that introduced us to Plexus, and so we get a few customers. And so Krista made a post on Facebook, and the post blew up. Everyone was messaging her, asking for information on the products, and we said, okay, we're on to something. And that within the first 30 days, we ended up paying for our products through the customers that we had. And my excitement grew, and I said, you know what, I could potentially see something here. After our first check, more than paid for some of the electric bill and the gas bill. The second check paid for our house payment and the electric bill and gas payment. The third payment paid for all that and groceries and more. And so the income just kept going up and up. And my business side turned on, and I said, you know what, you're doing great at this. What if we join forces together and really get this rolling? And so that's our brief story of why we came to Plexus, what motivated us to try out the opportunity and the products. And, it kind of became very addicting in a good way, is that once we started seeing our results and success, then we started sharing with others. And when we started seeing their results, we got just floored that people who are having chronic, IBS symptoms, chronic weight challenges, on meds, started seeing their challenges dissipate and disappear. And we got very excited. We said, you know what, this is something that we can sink our life into. And so that's when we really decided to go at this with full gusto. And so now my wife and I, we build this business together. We have different roles, but for the first few months, if you're a lady that's married and your husband's not interested, no big deal. She built it all by herself. I was not involved really to any degree. And then after I started seeing the money, just like any big man would, I jumped on board. Excuse me. So getting back to you, what motivated you to come out here, on a Thursday night and take a look at this opportunity? I always get a kick out of this when I see it, because I showed this business opportunity to somebody and started talking about the products, and I said, is it time, travel, health, giving, be debt free? And he saw this, he said, time travel? Oh, that's amazing. And so he got all excited about time travel. I said, no, we can't do time traveling, but perhaps you would just like to have more time to do the things you want to do. Maybe you'd like to travel. I just know for myself, is at one point in time I had a lot of dreams, a lot of goals, things that I held in my heart. But then after time, those things dissipated and I pushed them aside. And so maybe you're like me. Maybe you had some big goals at one point in time and you kind of pushed them aside and said, hey, I'm okay with this life. Maybe I don't need to do this or that. And so I just encourage you, even if you just came here for the health side of things, open up your mind. Perhaps down the road, maybe not today, maybe not in a month, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year. You say, you know what if I gave this Plexus business a whirl and treated it like a business? So I just want to plant a seed in the back of your head. And so with that said, we'll move on. How can we help you today? I'm gonna try to be interactive here. I'm gonna get techy and fancy, hopefully, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So one of the things that I'm trying to do is I am going to try to launch a poll. Let's see if we can do this. Let's see here. All right, so what would you like to learn tonight? How to get healthy, how to make money, or getting healthy and making money sounds great to me. So maybe you're in one category, maybe you're in the other, or maybe you're in both. Okay. Votes are coming in. See my screen? I think. All right. 11. Got a few more people. All right. Cool. So we have a few that want to learn how to get healthy. We have a couple that want to just learn how to make money. And maybe you're like me, you didn't really care about getting healthy. And then some of you said both. So that's cool. All right. Close that one up. and that's important. You have to have a goal, and if your goal is just to get healthy, just just cover your ears, go la 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 when I get to the money part, or talk about the compensation side. That's fine, but for those that are interested in the money side, we'll touch base on it, but it's not going to be a comprehensive overview of the money side either. All right, moving along. So who has tried Plexus before? I'm not positive if I have this on a full. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, okay. So who's tried Plexus before? Who has tried Plexus? See, this is why you can't be watching TV and listening to me, because now I'm going to make it, I'm switching it up on you, getting you all interactive. So we have a few of you have not. All right, cool. So this is our main suite of products. I'm not going to go through them all tonight. It would be impossible to go through in any detail of all the products, but what I will do is touch base on some of my favorite and some of the other ones we can get back to. I'll tell you right now, the ones that we're not going to touch base on, just for sake of time, is going to be Boost and Block and the body cream and Accelerator. Basically, Accelerator, Boost, they are enhancers to losing weight. Block is a carb blocker, and the Plexus cream is good for skin and lines, all that stuff that guys don't really care about. Just kidding. But on a whole, Plexus is going to keep blood sugar at a healthy level. It's really the foundation of Plexus is to build your immune system and help support it. It all starts with the gut. I've heard it said that your gut is your second brain. That also is intestinal health, discomfort relief, whether that's IBS or whatnot, or pain in your body, detoxification. So many people have so many toxins just riddled through their body. Our bodies weren't, made to handle the stress and the pressure that we have in this life, and whether it's, family situations, whether it's like for me, a very traumatic situation that toxifies your body, or the food that we eat, or, just being in the environment of pollution. And so we need something to get rid of those toxins. Healthy weight loss. I haven't met very many people that are at their ideal weight that say, you know what, I'm at perfect weight, do not want to lose a pound or an inch. So most likely you're in one of those camps. So Plexus products are diabetic friendly, gluten free, and they contain no artificial sweeteners. So that's one thing that I just loved about the products. I could 100% stand behind them. The protein shakes, again, we're not going to talk about that. That's not really the cornerstone of Plexus and losing weight, but it is one of the products that we have, and I love it because it has no artificial sweeteners. There's so many times that I went to buy a protein shake and it had all this junk in it. So anyways, we'll just touch base on a few of these products. This is our 3 most popular products. And if you can get on these 3 products, you'd be on your way to some great health. Plexus Slim, that's by far our flagship product. Don't be fooled by what it looks like or how it tastes. That is what Krista, my wife, started with, and just that product alone helped balance her blood sugar, which in turn helped balance her hormone level. So what you'll see with Slim is you're going to see your cholesterol and lipids getting at a healthy level. It reduces binge eating. I don't know if anyone's like me, but a lot of times once, like right about now, rolls around 9 o'clock, kids are in bed, you throw on that TV and that ice cream screaming your name. And so you go out and you binge. If you're like me, you'd scoop up and grab that big bowl of ice cream that tasted so good that you're like, you know what, a second one would taste even better. So you go for the second one. What I have seen with Slim is it really just curbed my binge eating with junk food. And so what we do is take it in between breakfast and lunch. And that product alone, I would say, has radically changed my family. I know that's a bold claim, but it's the truth. And so, again, if you haven't heard my wife's testimony, I encourage you to jump on her Facebook, and it really is just amazing. Probiotic, again, if you're shut, if you're if you have any type of brain fog, like I just had a second ago, or you have bloating or anxiety, uh, probio is going to create and build up the good bacteria, the good flora in your gut, and so that is one of my favorite products. What I end up seeing for me, if I've had a high carb day, or even if I indulge in some sugar that day, I would have a little bit of extra probio, and any symptoms of sore throat that I normally get, or stuffy nose that I normally get from those meals, or those cravings would really subside, and I wouldn't deal with anything in the morning. So ProBio is a fantastic product. My family has been on so many different ProBios over the last 15 years, but this is, I can honestly say, this is the first one that I've actually seen any difference. I mean, my wife would get all these ProBios, and I, we know they're good for us, but I never saw any real change. With this product, we've seen, we won't name any names in our family, but one of our children had significant breath issues. One of them would be allergic to dogs anytime they got around dogs. And so the probio really balanced out the gut, and then allowed them to, one, get away from that bad breath and get the allergies removed. BioCleanse here in the left corner is a product that's going to help you with a gentle cleanse. Basically, get rid of the toxins of the body. Oxygenates, that's a big word for a northern boy like me, the bloodstream. And what you'll see with BioCleanse is that, especially like if I have a headache, or if I even feel a little sickness coming on, I'll pop in a couple more BioCleanse, and I'll definitely see that removed. So if you're experiencing any of these issues here on the right, weight problems, fatigue, fibromyalgia, lack of energy, high cholesterol, blood pressure, diabetes, or bowel issues, these are the top 3 products that I would mention. A close fourth behind that is X Factor. I love, love, love X Factor. I've had so many different multivitamins over my years. Was involved in a very good company a long time ago. They had a fantastic multivitamin, but I've never seen my energy level adjust as much as I do with this X Factor. It has an aloe vera blend that's patented, and what that really does is it helps digest the rest of your vitamins and the nutrients that your body's trying to get. And so this product alone, obviously, is, if you just did one standalone product, this product alone would be a fantastic one to keep your health balanced and gain some energy. And so it's that natural energy. I don't know if anyone else is out there, but I was inching my way up to about 3 cups of coffee a day, and I'm not talking about little shot glasses. I'm talking about the big daddies. And so I knew in my head that this is not a good idea for me to be drinking this much coffee, but I was so addicted to it, I couldn't break it, mainly because I would go through the morning slump and the evening slump, and so, the mid-afternoon slump at 2 o'clock. So once I started taking this, and it didn't happen overnight, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey, you take these products, next week you're going to be, walking on the moon and feeling great, high-fiving everyone at work. No. It's going to take some time. Of course, have we seen those results? Yeah, we have. Is it normal for everyone? Not necessarily. For me, it took me about 60 days, and I trimmed back those 3 cups of coffee to 2, and then I trimmed back to 1, and then I trimmed back to half. And then now I rarely ever have coffee. And I just feel naturally more alert, more energy, and I attribute a lot of it to the combination of the X Factor shared with the Slim. Plexus Ease. this is a fantastic combo product. If you're experiencing any type of chronic pain in your health, Plexus Ease there's really a short-term relief, which is this cream on the right side. So if you have body aches, I know personally I would wake up from sleep and I'd have a neck pain or something like that. You rub some of this on there, and again, it's all natural, and you will feel a difference immediately. Long-term relief, you start adding in the capsules day after day. I think there's even a gal on our webinar tonight who could not get out of bed. She said she felt like an old lady and just felt really just chronic pain. She would have to have her kids walk on her back in order to relieve her from the pain. She started taking this product and saw it dissipate. So fantastic product. Again, I've dealt with a lot of headaches, and so I'll pop in a couple of these when I'm dealing with some headaches, and I've seen some great relief. Or I'll rub the cream on the place where I'm hurting and see that pain subside. So fantastic products right there. Those sets of products. Of course, if you're here tonight, you've seen the testimonials. You probably didn't come without someone showing you one of these testimonials. I pulled this one up. Sarah Marvel was a nurse, so she was very active in the health community, knew a lot about what's people should and shouldn't do, on a medical side. Her husband is a doctor. Because of Plexus, she was able to retire because of Plexus. Now he only works, I believe, up to one time a week. And so she's lost 92 pounds and retired from a nursing job. So that's pretty exciting. This gal, she was 55 pounds overweight. She had weekly allergies, asthma inhalers, addiction to Red Bull and Coke, all that gone within 11 months. And so, again, does this happen overnight? No. Can it happen overnight? Yeah. It just depends on your body, but don't be the chronic microwave society that we're living and say, you know what, I want my answer now. I need my answer now, and if I don't get it within a week or two, I'm going to quit these products. Well, let me save you the effort. But if you're willing to go at it, for the 60-day money-back guarantee, you're going to see some changes. For those guys that are on here with us tonight on the webinar, do men, take the product or build the business? Here's a cage fighter here on the left that takes the products. This gentleman, I could have pulled up hundreds of pictures of men, but 80 pounds lighter, pain relief after taking Plexus. So, I'm not the only man in Plexus. There's a lot of others. Even though it's a pink drink and you see all the pink colors, there's a ton of men, and a lot of them are seeing changes in their body and also having some great financial success as well. So common questions that we see. Are the products expensive? Will they work for me? Are they FDA approved? And are they safe? And so thanks for asking those questions. I'm glad you did. But anyways, those are the questions that we tackle. And so I'm just going to bring them up and go through them one by one really quick. Are they expensive? Well, what are your vices? Like I mentioned, I had an ice cream addiction. I had a very strong love affair with Starbucks coffee. And so I kid you not, I was spending probably about $30 a month on Starbucks coffee, give or take. How many people here that's on the webinar, how many spend money on medication? I'm just surprised at how many people take so much medication. If any of you have followed us in our journey, our son was having seizures, and so of course we did everything we could in the natural to help relieve him from those. And one of the things that we ended up doing was getting some medication from our neurologist. Well, it was not surprising that shortly after we gave him one and the seizures kept going, that they offered another one, and then they wanted to implement another one. And that's just our society today. That's the doctors today. Obviously they have a place. So I'm not against doctors, but I am against over medicating yourself. And so, are they expensive? Well, I don't know how much you spend on medication. How many of you gotten a gym membership and never go to it? And so it's all relative. For me and my wife, if it would have cost um, $500 a month to have her happy and to have her out of that anxiety and depression and hormone imbalance, I would have paid it. I would have figured out some way, somehow, even if it meant getting a job as a waiter, I would have done it. And because it was important to me. But when all things figured out, we actually balance our budget and everything like that, and they really aren't that expensive. So you can drink a $4 coffee. My friend used to call them, it's not Starbucks, it's $5, right? Because it can't get out of it without spending $5. Um, Obviously, no one saved money at Starbucks, but if you're drinking Slim, our flagship product, you're going to get the health benefits of that product, and perhaps you're going to be making money as well. Will it work for you? Well, here's what I love about the company. I've mentioned it here in the past, but 60-day money-back guarantee. So if you're skeptical, if you're like me, and you want to hold on to your money tight, hey, I understand completely. But the products that Plexus has, they stand behind them 100%. So as long as you keep the package, you buy them, and you just ship back the empty container and say, hey, it didn't work for me, they'll give you your money back. I think out of about 200 people that we've helped with ambassadors and customers, we've seen maybe one customer return the product based on that. So for us, it's been a pretty good results, I would say. Is it FDA approved? Not a common question, but we run by it once in a while. If you've ever taken a vitamin, FDA doesn't approve or disapprove any vitamins or supplements. All they do is regulate and make sure that your claims are substantiated. So you can't say that, hey, you're going to be able to bench press 700 pounds or that you're going to run a 4-minute mile. No, you can't say that. But if you say this could lower your cholesterol, this could, and so there's obviously disclaimers, but yes, we're in good standing with the FDA, and so no challenges there. I would say all of our products are natural. They're deemed some of the most natural ways to lose weight. So we're not talking about going on some crazy diet. If you're on this call tonight, I would assume one of you at some point in time have been on some crazy diet. I put myself on a crazy diet before Plexus. I really wanted to lose weight. I was about 10 or 15 pounds overweight. And so I had salads, and I had salads, and then I had some more salads. And I tell you what, I haven't had a salad in a long time because I'm so sick of salads. But so we starve ourselves, we take shakes, we do all these different things. One of the things I appreciate is that with these products is that they're really just integrated into your life. We don't skip any meals. I still have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The drink, Slim, I just drink in between breakfast and lunch. And like I said, you start seeing your portions will start to shrink, the cravings start to change. And so that alone is very safe. But there is no, I guess, guesswork done in the products. There's no, unapproved products that are out there. So you'll be happy to know that they're all natural. But check with your doctor. If you have any concerns, check with your doctor. Bring in the print off all of the ingredients right there off our website and ask them. And if they say no, I'd be very surprised. I can't personally think of maybe one circumstance, again, over 200 people that have done that, or one in maybe 10 people have done that, and the doctor said, well, maybe we'll just start with this or that and go from there. So anyways, but check with your doctor, especially if you're on any medication. I'm not a salesperson, so if you're interested in the business side of things and you say, hey, I'd like to make money, but I'm not a salesperson, I could guarantee that you could convince me of why I should go to Applebee's or Chili's or those biscuits at Red Lobster or whatever it is. And so we're all, to some degree, we sell. We don't know it. We don't like to say it. But when it comes to, hey, homeschooling, if I said, should I homeschool or should I go to public school? Half of you guys would say public school. Half of you would say homeschool. And you tell me why. And so to some degree, we're all passionate about something. And this is just passionate about your health and sharing with others. Probably the worst people in this business in terms of success-wise are people that are over salesy, because people don't like to be sold. And so I found, my background is sales. And so I had to really turn that off and just learn how to listen to people and share with people and find out what their concerns are. And so we just educate people and let the product speak for themselves, let the 60-day money-back guarantee speak for itself, let the testimonies speak for themselves. And, I don't sell, I just share. So that's what you can do. My wife has not picked up the phone, one time in terms of a sale or try to sell somebody. Most of her business was done over Facebook. So don't worry about that if you're here for the business side of things. The compensation plan and how the business side of the compensation plan works. We're going to go through that again really briefly for the sake of time here. But I do want to share this, is that the Plexus compensation plan is very lucrative. Whether or not you just want to get in and make an extra $500 a month, or an extra $100 a month, or perhaps you would like to, reach for the stars and get into a diamond ambassador level where you're making over $30,000 a month. Those can happen. Our mentor, Jetty and Lori Harrison, our mentors, they make that type of money. They're diamonds in the business, and you could pick up the phone and chat with them if you're wanting to get mentored in this business. You could Facebook them. You would be part of our team, most likely, here tonight. A little bit about the compensation plan. Again, I'm not going to go into this deep, just because one, you won't retain it. Two, you can Google this exact chart online tonight if you'd like. And Plexus is very transparent about the compensation plan. So if you Google compensation plan summary chart, you'll find this. So, but just to take you through it, there's a few different ways to make money. One is that once you get started as an ambassador, $0 to $99, no commission on the product. $100 to $499, you get 15% commission on the product. So whether that's personal use of the product or products that you sell to other customers, $500 and up, you get 25% back on the product. So just at $500, as you can see, that can add up. In addition to that, when you are a preferred customer, every time someone orders a bag of Slim, if they're a preferred customer of yours, you get a $15 bonus. Or if they're on a combo like a Plexus Slim and Accelerator, it's $18 bonus. So you get bonuses for every product your customers buy. And then in addition to that, as you grow a team of people and they're using the products and say roughly that they're doing $100 in volume a month, you just have 3 people do that. You have 3 people that are just doing roughly $100 a month, you're going to get a $100 bonus from Plexus. Nice little bonus. And that's in addition. There's other bonuses on top of that. And then as you grow into your business, every person that does $100, they equal basically 5 points. Is this system that they have, 1 through 7. You get paid 7 levels in your organization, and these points add up. So let's just say that I had 3 people. For instance, my mom got started in the business, what she did, and she's registered my sister, Carrie, who got started in the business, and then she registered her daughter, Amber, which she did. And so I had 15 points. If they all do $100 in volume, I would get 15 points. And once I reach 100 points, I'll get a bonus of $250. And Plexus has what they call kind of a commission or a profit sharing bonus. So for every point that you get roughly anywhere from $2 to $3 as an additional bonus. So again, without going into too much detail, but yeah, I shared with you when you get to this level, as far as what we've hit gold, we've hit senior gold in this business, and that income, without going into detail of how much that could be for us, it paid for our light, our water, our food bill, our house bill, and so it was very lucrative. And just the other month, we actually made more in a month than I made in my full-time business that I've been going for the last 3 or 4 years. So the compensation opportunity is really spectacular. It's really limitless. And if you want more information on that, it would probably be best if we talk after the meeting, so that we don't take up too much time on the number side of things. But in addition to that, Plexus has a Lexus program, the Plexus Lexus program. When you hit Emerald in this business, so you've helped enough people in this business, they're going to pay for a Lexus for you. And that's pretty exciting. Right now, Chris and I are gearing for that within the next 2-3 months here at the most. And we'll be excited about getting a new Lexus. So if that's something you need. Excuse me for a second. If you're like Krista and I, and you've driven every last mile out of that car, then maybe you need a new Lexus like us. Excuse me. So Plexus Worldwide, 2005, they began as a breast health company. 2010, I'm going to skip, went to 968,000 annual revenue. 2012, 37 million. 2013, 159 million. 2015, we could definitely be a billion-dollar company within this year or the next year. So it is a amazing company, debt-free company. They're right now building a brand new facility, paying for it in cash. And on Inc. magazine, they rank companies that are growing fast. As you can see here, just last year was ranked 8th out of all the companies out there, 8th fastest growing privately held company. So you're in good standings. You're with a good company, whether you're here just for the products or you're here for the compensation side. I would say number 8 out of all those companies out there is pretty fantastic. 16,000% growth on the cover of Success magazine. It was the most popular diet and shape magazine in 2014, ranked number 2. So I've gotten a lot of publicity. Again, over 16,000% growth in 2013. So the business is just booming. We're really at a cutting edge spot in the business. So I'm just going to take a pause, and I've gone through a little bit of the products, gone through a little bit of the business side, and so perhaps you have a question. If you do, there's a chat button that you can click on and ask a question, and if we have enough time, we can answer those. While you are thinking of your question, I'm going to move ahead to the next slide, but feel free to message me. Don't try to stump me. So perhaps you've now seen the business. You say, "Hey, I love this. What do I need to do next?" You say, "I want to either try the product or jump on the opportunity." Decide if you want to be a retail customer, a preferred customer, or an ambassador. I didn't go through in depth on that, but really you have 3 different options. A retail customer is what it is. You pay retail for the product. You have your own flexibility of when to buy the product, no minimums or anything like that. A preferred customer is someone like, for instance, had a brand new customer here just the other day. Met him at the supermarket. He's a nice guy. He's always there. He's a manager. And started talking to him, and one of the things he said to me is there a way that I can get these products just automatically shipped to me so I don't have to worry about ordering it every month? If I start this, I want to be committed to it. And so, so he signed up as a preferred customer. And so every 30 days, he gets an auto shipment. You can change it, adjust it, cancel it, but By being a preferred customer, signing up for that auto renewal, he gets another 10 to 15% savings per se. Or as an ambassador, that's what I am. That's what some of the people here on the call are. For $34, you register as an ambassador, get all the products at wholesale. That gives you the link to your website so you can invite people to come buy their products, and you get an opportunity to develop the business side of Plexus as well. So retail, preferred, or an ambassador. Those are really the three different options. So you go ahead and you can, whoever invited you tonight, ask for their link. You don't want to just go straight to Plexus because you'll give no man Plexus land. But you want to ask for the link of the person who invited you here, and they can encourage you to get signed up as one of those three and answer any of the questions you have. Try the products out. If you're going to be a customer, try them out. Give them a shot for 60 days. And once you try them out, try them with your friends and family. That's one of the things that you'll see is that it's a very viral business. I'm going to click in here. It had a couple of questions, I think. All right. All right. So one of the questions here, as you can see on my screen, is there a minimum amount of product that needs to be ordered? Answer to that is no. If you're an ambassador, you don't have to. There's no minimums that you have to do, but in order to qualify for bonuses, you need to do at least $100 in product volume, 100, and that equals 100 points basically. So if you're not interested in the bonus side of the business, no, there's no minimums as a ambassador. Obviously, as a preferred customer or retail, there's no minimums either. See if there are any other questions. Okay. Looks like I'm the only person that can see your questions. Thank you. Jody, any other questions that are popping in, that burning through your mind about Plexus? All right. Well, hey, I really appreciate all of your time. I know you guys could have done 100 million things tonight. Of course, this is just a highline overview, so just encourage you to get back to the person that invited you, get some more information, just continue to get educated. No one's going to high pressure sales you, and just get to the place where you feel comfortable in your journey with Plexus, whether it's a customer, an ambassador. We'd love to have you on board, and I'll be available if you need to chat me. I'll be on Facebook even later on tonight, so feel free to jump online, ask me personal questions, whatever. If you forgot what you were going to ask or whatnot. So if you're not friends with me on Facebook, it's Chad Deary, and that's Dearey. But most importantly, get back with the person that invited you here tonight. So appreciate you coming, and we look forward to helping you out in your Plexus journey. God bless. Have a great night.